And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about legislation at the state capitol targeting potential employer abuse and intimidation. My guest this segment is Roger Hernandez, a member of the State Assembly from West Covina. Covina, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to be here.
And I know you are chair of the Assembly Labor and Employment Committee and have a number of bills dealing with labor issues and employment issues. And I want to talk about, at least starting off, about one which deals with this potential abuse by employers.
Yes, sir.
And I guess it's one of your focus, it's not the entire focus of this legislation, but a big part of it is intimidation against undocumented immigrants or any immigrants who happen to be employees.
Yes, this is Assembly Bill 263, which I've authored, and this bill seeks to protect all workers, regardless of immigration status. But what we find here in California is that one of the most substantial segments of our workforce is the immigrant workforce. And it's within that community, that whether they're documented or undocumented immigrants, where many of the abuses towards the workers have taken place, whether it's unfair labor practices, not being paid the hours that they've earned, merited, conditions in the workplace being unsafe. And these workers, when they go to complain, report, whistleblow, they find themselves under tremendous threats and intimidation tactics by employers, such as threats that the police will be called, and that could cause concerns if their status is in question, or that the immigration would be called. The use of E-Verify, that's not consistent with federal regulations or policies. And it's through these tactics that these workers are kind of kept in check in conditions that are not the most or proper and appropriate in the workplace.
And you know for a fact that much of this behavior on the part of employers is going on?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, several months ago, I chaired a hearing as chairman of the Labor and Employment Committee, and we invited workers throughout California, again, regardless of their status, to come and to share with the California State Assembly their stories of intimidation and retaliation in the workplace. Most of these workers, immigrant workers, are low-wage workers. And unfortunately, employers know that many of these low-wage workers don't have the means to defend themselves in a court of law and have those kind of resources to have a very extracted kind of an event or expenditure take place in their defense. So to threaten a worker with the threat of calling police or authorities has been a very popular way, and it's one of the highest ranking, most frequent threats that's made against workers who report unsafe working conditions.
And so your bill would increase penalties, right?
Absolutely. My bill would impose penalties. It also gives the courts discretion. At the first phase, it gives courts, the first offense, it gives courts the ability to suspend the license for up to, I believe it's 30 days. But it's up to the court's discretion if the courts find that there is fault on the side of the employer. And then upon the second, there's a financial, there would be a financial penalty. In addition, more time in terms of the suspension of license.
We only have a few seconds left, but I do want to mention, originally the California Chamber of Commerce and a number of other business groups fought this legislation, but you have worked together to sort of negotiate a compromise, and they're no longer against it.
They're no longer against it. All those that were opposed from the business community and others are now neutral on the bill.
All right. Roger Hernandez, thank you very much for coming by and talking about this piece of legislation. It's fascinating. We'll certainly watch its progress.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, also on My Government on Demand. I'm Steve Swatt, and we'll see you next time.